Top 9 extreme sports across the world that should be banned. Bullfighting. A Spanish bullfight is set up to have men, matador, fight against a frightened and confused animal in an enclosed ring. After approximately 15 minutes of extreme suffering, the matador finally slays the beaten bull. It is so violent that it is illegal in most countries, but remains legal in most areas of Spain and Portugal, while it banned from television in Spain. It is a supremely dangerous art, while some even call it the dance of death. Heli skiing. Heli skiing is only accessible by helicopter. The helicopter itself poses various safety risks, since it is dependent on the skill of the pilot, the quality of the helicopter. People who seek to do such things are crazy and are risking their lives for the most extreme. Avalanche risk is one of the primary safety concerns. Only a minority of operations use blasting to minimize the avalanche risk, whilst others primarily use slope avoidance techniques. Mountaineering. High-altitude mountaineering, such as climbing Everest and other 8,000-meter peaks, is an extremely dangerous activity, and people can literally pass away. At extremely high elevations, the brain can actually swell and blood vessels may begin to leak, resulting in high-altitude cerebral edema, or HACE. When this happens, the climber may experience disorientation, hallucinations, and even loss of consciousness. When traveling above 2,500 meters, the effects of altitude begins to take a toll on the human body. Jallikattu. It is India's answer to Spain's running with the bulls tradition. In the narrow alleys, people run amok. There are plenty of adrenaline rushing moments. Bulls are on the rampage. Nothing about the sport is scripted, while this spur-of-the-moment action doesn't even have any retakes. Jallikattu is a show of strength between man and beast. Earlier, the challenge was to seize prize money tied to the horn of the bull. Unlike the Spanish bull run, here the bull is not killed and no matador is armed. Cave diving. This extreme sport is a way of exploring flooded caves for scientific investigation, or for the search and recovery of divers lost while diving for one of these reasons. Cave diving is very similar to skiing in many respects. This sort of diving contains a degree of risks, which causes approximately 500 deaths a year. Probable causes which leads to many incidents in this sport is people running out of air, equipment failure, and losing one's way. Base jumping. Base meaning building, antenna, span, and earth, is the recreational sport of jumping from fixed objects, using a parachute to descend safely to the ground. It is one of the most dangerous recreational activities in the world, with a fatality rate 43 times higher than that of parachuting from a plane. Adventure junkies exit from a fixed object and, after an optional free fall delay, deploy a parachute to slow their descent and land. A popular form of base jumping is wingsuit base jumping. Snowmobiling. It is designed to be operated on snow and ice and does not require a road or trail, but most are driven on open terrain or trails. If you ride a sports snowmobile, you can even reach 120 miles per hour depending on the sled's model. Top drag snowmobiles can go up to 200 miles per hour. Snowmobiling can be a deadly sport, especially in slippery and unmanned areas, since it is primarily a winter motorsport. The risk involved is high. Supercross. The tracks are very challenging. Because of how the bikes are designed, there are sharp points all around it. Once people crash, there is definitely a possibility of a bike landing on them or staying on top of them. Many riders get very deep cuts that require stitches after being stuck under their bike after crashing. Riders fly into the air on motorcycles, while doing backflips, take off their hands off the handlebars, such stunts that could potentially grieve them. Tennis. There were over 90,000 tennis injuries reported in 2011, which comes to approximately 15% of estimated tennis players. But we're just talking about injuries that were so bad that they required medical attention. Heat exhaustion, pulled and strained muscles, joint sprains, stress fractures, blisters, bruises, tennis elbow, and eye injuries are some of the risks involved in playing tennis.